Who are the heroes and heroines of the first Chimurenga, Umvukela? The combination of Christianity, trading, colonialism, and capitalism rapidly replaced the pre-colonial socio-political and economic structures between the 1880s and the early 20th century. It resulted in a colonial transformation characterized by the creation of new commodities, identities, relationships, languages, philosophies, and political and economic perspectives. The pioneer column, which began the colonization of Zimbabwe, was launched as a result of the misconception that a second land was hidden in the land north of the Limpopo River, the present-day Zimbabwe. The British South African Company was established in 1890 in Mashonaland and in 1893 in Matabeleland. The company constructed major infrastructure across the nation. These involved building towns, highways, mines, and small-scale commercial farming. In addition, it established a vast administrative structure that was praised as bringing the light of civilization to the darkest Africa. Up until the end of 1895, the British South Africa Company's operations seemed to be a tale of success on the surface. During that time, African heroes and heroines took a stand and defended their people. The company faced challenges multiple times, most notably when the Alan Wilson Patrol was lost. The majority of the nation's gold fields were under the authority of the BSA Company. Because Cecil Rhodes was able to hide the difficulties from his investors and most settlers by comparing them with his promises and the Johannesburg gold fields, the success of his ambitious scheme seemed certain. It is evident that during this process, they acquired resources like land, the native African community's economic backbone. According to some historians, the initial imperial emissaries that aided in the conquest of native ethnic groups like the Shona and Ndebele were missionaries like Robert Moffat and his son John Moffat. African traditional and spiritual activities were routinely and persistently criticized and condemned by missionaries as demonic, evil, and heathen. These and many not mentioned activities harshly affected native Africans in their motherland. As a result, Umvukela, Chimurenga's independence movement, consequently broke out. It was a struggle for the stolen land and heritage, or simply stolen dignity of the native African people. Let's retell the tales of two notable heroines, Queen Lozikeyi and Mbuya Nehanda, in honor of our heroes and heroines, and of course to inspire today's youth to participate in today's battles. Who was Queen Lozikeyi? According to oral history, Lozikeyi recognized herself by playing an iconic role in the 1896 Anglo-Matabele battle, popularly named Impi Yehloke Libomvu, the War of the Red Axe. It's strange that given the significant role she played in taking over for King Lobengula after his disappearance, Queen Lozikeyi's narrative is still rarely known and isn't taught in standard educational institutions. She served as a leader and an inspiration to the Ndebele warriors who sacrificed much to free their collapsing kingdom from cruel colonial regime of the day. Sometime after King Lobengula was crowned, Lozikeyi Lolo got married to him, she became the second senior wife of King Lobengula. She is said to have been born as a twin in 1855. She is the daughter of Ngoko Lolo and Umachavalala. She is known by her tagline, "Kungcono ngizenzele." It will be better if I do it myself. The colonial settlers characterized her as a dangerous and incredible woman. She served as the king's counselor, a military tactician, an honest elder, spouse, and the well-known queen of the Ndebele people. The Ndebele kingdom was severely weakened and a sizable portion of its population was displaced following the Matebele War of 1893. While the succession issues were being resolved, Queen Lozikeyi assumed the role of the king. Oral history holds that she kept King Lobengula's subjects unified and she went on to become Queen Regent. Queen Lozikeyi was firm in her desire for the restoration of the Ndebele kingdom and the restoration of her people's land following the land seizures in 1893 and the years that followed. She sent her twin brother Muntuwani Lolo instructions to reassemble King Lobengula's regiment, the Imbizo. She led the Imfazo uprising against colonial control and the Ndebele people's land dispossessions in 1896 alongside Muntuwani. The First Chimurenga War began as a result of the Imfazo resistance, also known as the War of the Red X, Impi Yehloke Libomvu. A portion of the ammunition that King Lobengula had not used was cleverly kept by Queen Lozikeyi, and the Imbizo regiment was able to use it against Cecil Rhodes' army. The Ndebele army and Rhodes had come to a standstill by the end of 1896, overseeing the Izindaba negotiations in the Matopo Mountains. Queen Lozikeyi spearheaded the peace initiative through runners. Eventually, the Ndebele people lost their best land and control, but this also resulted in a ceasefire and amnesty. Who was Mbuya Nehanda? Nehanda Charwe Nyakaskana was as a Zulu spiritual leader, Swikiro or spirit medium, referred to as Mondoro. According to local legend, the Mondoro were among the most formidable spirits. She was born in Mashonaland Central, Chishawasha in 1840. She was the daughter of Chitaura, the younger son of Shaya Chimwe, the late 18th century founder of the Wata dynasty in the upper Mazowe Valley. Nehanda led her people's fight until she was caught, working with the other two Mondoro, Mukwati in Matebeleland and Sekurukaguvi in western Mashonaland. The Shona and Ndebele peoples suffered defeat in late 1897 after running out of supplies, ending the first Chimurenga uprising. Nehanda faced accusations of killing H. Pollard, a notoriously brutal European commissar. She was found guilty and given the death penalty in March 1898. Her last words to the British were that her body would be raised to fight and hopefully a successful war against them before she was put to death.